welcome back to the Director's Garage. I am your host and resident idiot, Michael. And folks, today is one of those episodes that you kind of hang your hat on. It's what I call a tentpole episode. So welcome to episode 95. Today's episode is a what's in the box of a flagship multi-kilobuck Summit Fi headphone that I've only heard once, and it really made quite an impression. And now we're about to check it out right here in the Director's Garage. It's been sitting here for over a month, and I simply cannot wait to get to it. But before we get to that, you know I love suspense. Would you kill me for asking you to subscribe to the Director's Garage so that one day I might not have to mortgage my future on a pair of headphones? Exaggerate much? Well, you decide. It's your subscriptions that keep the fireworks coming, and without your support, I'm just a dude spending cash. And spent some cash I have in the last few weeks. I have a bunch of new product on the way, and there's something different in the Director's Garage right now that may offer a clue as to some of the moves I've made around here. Not all headphones either. I'm tweaking the electronics lineup in the garage as well. It will take a few months, but all will be revealed. A not-so-subtle Led Zeppelin reference there, if you caught it. And I did spend my own money on this headphone right here. It was indeed purchased by the Bank of Directors Garage. Now, there's been a crazy amount of talk lately about bias in these headphone review shows, and the more that I purchase myself, or at worst, get sent to me by a reseller like Audio 46, the more insulated the show is from the manufacturer and the obligation to give a favorable review. And that certainly is the case here. And oh, what a headphone this is. Folks, I can't tell you how hard it has been to not rip this package open and check it out. I just hope it's not a letdown, because that would seriously suck. But we're here, and it's time to grip it and rip it. He's the tear in your eye. He's been tempted by his lie. He's the knife in your back. He's rage. He's the razor to the knife. You got that one? That's Shout at the Devil by Motley Crue. Head-banging metal lyrics. You gotta love them. So a headphone like this will sit around for a month because I have Audio 46 headphones in here, and then, you know, y'all were bugging me for that LCD5 review, and so something like this that's kind of like one of these compulsory things that I just happen to pick up, that's going to be a great dream team product, no doubt. It just kind of sits by the wayside. I think we're down to it. Let's take a look at the first layer. Are you ready? Are you ready? Mwah! And oh, it's a case. Let's investigate further. A lot of manufacturers are shipping cases these days, so this isn't really much of a giveaway, but I think when I flip this over, we might see something that'll give you some clues. Let's take a look at the other side of this, and wow, there's nothing there. All right, well, we found the feet, so that's a good thing. I think we need to just kind of open this and let's see what it is. And are you ready? This has got to be it. Oh, look at this. It's the Audeze CRBN. Yes, it's the Audeze CRBN. Or do you say CRBN?
Get out.
This is an electrostatic flagship over-ear headphone that came out of Audeze's work with patients that have to undergo MRI scans. And that's pretty heady stuff when you're improving the lives of people who need a procedure, you know? I mean, a lot of the times we're talking about cancer patients or elderly folks. This is the result of some important work. But right now, what's important is checking out what comes with this set and giving the Audeze CRBN a listen. And not all that much comes with this thing. You've got the 5-pin standard that goes into your amp, or do you say energizer? And I'm looking at these. Now, these are used. There appears to be a little bit of scuffing around on the piano black part. That's a little disappointing, but the cups feel just amazing. You get a pair of fancy, like, proctology working gloves. That's kind of a good thing.
Hey!
And then you get your product cards up here that say it's an official Audeze, or do you say Audeze, product. And this one's got a serial number on it. Yep, it's 2000 something or other. Probably, I'm guessing we're in a pretty low manufacturing run on this. I bought this used from a user. Let's talk about that. Why the carbon? Well, I told you all a few episodes ago that I needed to get an electrostatic headphone in here because that painfully expensive Blue Hawaii amp has been gathering dust. So this deal came up, and I thought there was enough room in the deal where I didn't really feel like I was risking losing major amounts of cash. There's not a ton of these on the market right now, but more than that, I thought these were so special at Can Jam. I'm trying these on for the first time. Ooh, they feel good. I was surprised that these things weren't pulling more attention off the floor. There was just a fraction of the people waiting to hear these as there were for the LCD5. And I can tell you guys, as I just slip these on again, this is a Meze-like comfort level. And you know what a stickler I am for headphone comfort. These really do feel amazing on your head. And they weigh just, I think it was 470 grams, a little bit heavier than, say, the Susvara or the LCD5, but you can't really tell, it's 20 grams. It features supposedly something called carbon nanotube technology. Can you see the nanotubes in there? I think, wait. There's one right there.
Okay.
Where do they come up with this stuff?
Shut up.
Anyway, more importantly, this thing will work with the doorstop that has been my Blue Hawaii amp since I let go of the Stax 009S. Yeah, the Blue Hawaii will ride again in this episode. And a real quick look at these, you'll see that it's a classic Audeze design with the hinge right here. Feels very good. Carbon fiber across the top, leather strap in the middle, clearly marked left and right on either side, and gorgeous, gorgeous, soft, and comfortable. I have no issue saying let's wire them and fire them because they come wired, folks. There's no, you can't take the cables off. And you still get that driver flex effect. It's not pleasant at all. That is a thing that just happens with electrostatics. But I think it's time we should go to some music and let's debut this. I've got a little moon dance called up on Rune here, and we're going to run it through the M scaler and see how it do. Whoa. You know... Oh, that was butter. And I gotta say, choosing a song like Moondance up front, really heavy bass note. These have good bass. This is an electrostat that has good representation in the bass. And that is something that is not lost on me. And this amp is giving me even more bass than the amp that I had at Can Jam. This is beautiful. And these have, to my ears, just initially listening, more bass representation than the LCD5. And I haven't done an A-B comparison, and I may be misremembering, but the bass is formidable on this electrostat, and that's a first. I have not heard this kind of bass coming off of an electrostat. And it's not bass head. It's not going to, like, Abyss doesn't have to worry, is what I'm saying, or Susvara. But there is significant bass here, and most obvious, it's going to be very detailed bass. You have a lot of texture to the bass. It's not just a bass. You're hearing the string, you're hearing resonances. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous bottom end. And I haven't even gotten to the detail, which is unreal right now. I'm so glad I got these. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Whoa! Oh, the sax comes in. Fantastic imaging. A beautiful, roomy soundstage. Not crazy wide, but there's a good sense of room around these. About the Susvara-like, you know? A good soundstage effect. But you get that electrostatic speed that nobody can touch. And it's not biting. These aren't bright at all. It's just... They're sharp, though. Like, I'm hearing the edges of Van Morrison's voice. We got to go to something else. I can't sit here on Van Morrison. So I'm going to go to Patricia Barber next. And I want to go to Nightclub. I heard this couple of tracks off this the other day, and I was so taken by the reverb on this. I really want to hear what the speed of the carbon can do when paired with something that's got this rich decay on it. I'm going to do Bye Bye Blackbird, and this is off of Nightclub by Patricia Barber. And there is such a heavy bass note at the top. It's a little bit of an over-the-top song, but the acoustics are spot on. It's really haunting. The speed and how it plays out decay on this headphone is phenomenal. And again, bass, bass, bass. There is good bass representation in this headphone. At least paired with the Blue Hawaii. I didn't think it had all that bass when I was at Can Jam. Right now, I'm pairing great bass with this. It sounds fantastic. Very surprised. Pleasantly surprised. Okay, I'm going to listen to a couple more. I'm going to listen to Thrill Is Gone. Now, this is off of another album. This is off of Blue Cafe. It's a MoFi recording. I'm sorry I waited a month to open these. That's a lot of listening I missed. Ooh. This is a taste of honey. It's got some bongos. It's got some percussion going on. It's so sharp. And they're placed very specifically. Laser sharpness. Every bit as good as any headphone I've heard. As far as imaging, as far as locking that instrument right in place. I think these are about mid-tier as far as width in soundstage, but it doesn't sacrifice all the soundstage to give you the image. It's a nice balance. Okay, let's go to Stimula the Coltrane, and this is one of the most amazing tracks you'll ever hear. And they're using percussion to simulate a train and Hugh's voice, and a beautiful saxophone. What's striking to me... Oh, the mids are gorgeous on this headphone. What strikes me is normally I have to say, well, it's got good bass for an electrostat. And this is one of the few headphones I think I can say, this just has good bass. And that should give Planar Dynamic folks a little bit of concern, because this is a real set. And with the right amp and the right tracks, it's formidable. This is a world-class experience. Very few headphones have given me what I'm getting right now. All right, I'm going to go to Hell Freezes Over. I'm going to listen to that Hotel California, the live track with the acoustics. I want to hear what this... That's much louder. Oh, my God. Woo! I mean, you're just surrounded by this. This is the experience I was hoping for from the 009S. There's energy, it's kinetic. The immersion factor is brilliant on these. One of the best headphone experiences I've ever had right here, right now. There's so much happening. The treble is sharp, but not biting. Mids are just totally formed. Just solid up and down the range. Don Henley has a beautiful, like one of the best voices in rock and roll history. But on the wrong headphone, on something that's mid-peaky, it can get too sharp and it can really kind of grate a little bit. It's what makes the Eagle such a good text track. And then you've got all of this great finger picking going on and a deep bass. It's just filling all the senses at once. I'm going to go to Kiko to see if these things have slam, Dreamin' Blue, and I have every expectation. Okay, decent slam. These aren't the rumblin' thumblin' slam that I get off of some headphones. But there's a good bottom boom going on. Well-represented bass, not crazy loose slam, which I kind of like for fun sometimes. Not here. But the bass is solid and it's represented. You can hear that. Yeah, it's filling in the bottom beautifully. I got to do some ZZ Top. I'm sorry if I'm going to be listening to a lot of music. I keep trying to throw something at these that I go, oh, that's bad. Just waiting for the bus. This is a complete headphone. It can do nasty. Okay, this is Bill Evans. I'm going to go to Bill Evans now and Waltz for Debbie. It's a piano piece. There was one note on this side when he hit it, and it was one specific frequency. I got a little buzzing on the bass note. It was only one note, though, one frequency. It's like it got some kind of resonance in the ear cup. And it was only on this side. It was only on that bass note. And the bass note hit. That's the third time it just hit. It's a specific it's a specific note. Like, I don't know, A minor or something. Who knows? So I found one flaw in this headphone. I'm going to go to Stevie Ray Vaughan. I'm going to listen to Couldn't Stand the Weather. Now, this is one of my favorite audiophile tracks. It's beautiful. There's that snap on the drums. There is such impact on these headphones. I mean, it's not just speed. It's speed backed by power. You know, here's the thing of it. Whoa. Okay, I'm gonna pause for a second. All right, I gotta pause for a second because a weird thing is happening, and I think I know what it is. I've got a microphone here, and when I turned my head funny, I felt some exchange going on. So my suspicion is that I'm putting a magnified, ribbon microphone right next to it, and I am getting a little bit of play between the mic and the electronics in this. But what makes this electrostatic experience different from what I've had in the past with the stacks is the stacks are supremely fast, and I think that these might be just a tick slower than the stacks, to be fair. But the stacks are thin. The sound on the stacks is a very thin experience. The music sounds like it's just dancing outside of your head here. There's no oomph behind it. There's no weight behind the sound. These, and you can hear all of this electronics going on, probably not the best thing for them. I have the volume turned down, but these have an authority behind the electrostatic sound. So you've got the electrostatic speed, but it feels like there's this force behind them that's giving you a thickness to the music. And it's a thickness that I haven't heard on an electrostatic headphone before. This headphone is doing remarkable things. Certainly things that I've not heard another headphone do before. And so there's a newness to it that I will have to concede on this first listen, on this audition. And this is going to, I'm sorry this was a longer audition, but I was hearing things in this that I had to keep going deeper, and I had to keep going to the next track because I was trying to find how do I describe this to you guys in a way that kind of makes sense and explain to you how different this is from other sonic experiences I've had in my past. And that's high praise. That's high praise to Audeze. Frankly, I'm shocked that this headphone has not garnered more attention because they're doing something special. This is not your average stacks. Now, I haven't heard the SRX 9000. I think it's the SRX 9000. The X 9000. I haven't heard them yet. And I want to. I mean, I feel like I owe it to us, or to our little, to what we're doing here, to hear that headphone at some point. I don't know how that's going to happen. It's a $6,000 headphone, and I have a Susvara sitting here at $6,000, and I have now an Abyss sitting here at $6,000. I can't just keep 50 grand worth of headphones sitting in house all the time. So something will have to probably go to be able to get the stacks in here. I'm not saying that this is better than the Susvara, but it's different from the Susvara, and it's a really pleasing experience. And these feel like a premium experience, and they fit, and the finish on these, I was complaining a little bit about the LCD5 and the headband snap. Well, here's what they've done right on the carbon is these are really thick head pads. So when you've got a little bit of spring on them, you've got all this cushion to take it up. It doesn't get painful. It doesn't annoy your ears at all. And if you look, these are angled out slightly, so it's taking some of that spring away from your head. I think this is one of the top experiences I've ever had in a headphone. And this was what I wish that SR009S would have been back when I first got them. So there you have it. This is the Audeze Carbon, or do you say Audeze CRBN? Okay, whatever. This headphone now joins Audeze's LCD5, the Focal Utopia, the Hifiman Susvara, the Meze Empyrean Elite, and the Abyss Phi 1266 Total Consciousness as part of the Dream Team 2.0. I don't know if I can afford to expand the Dream Team more than that, but if I can get the stacks added to this Dream Team, it would be a monumental all-out war shootout. It may have to go as it is, because I'm probably going to have to unload some stuff to get the stacks in here. But I think that we are very close to doing our next mega shootout. It's going to be worth it, however long it takes. Oh, and I just noticed something, and you're going to see this in the B-roll. I thought these were scuffed up, but what it appears to me is that there's some carbon fiber flecks buried in this outer ring. At first I thought it was dirt or smudges on the outer ring, and now as I'm looking closer to it, it looks more like a pattern. Like this is carbon fiber in here. Very interesting. Okay, well, take that off the list of complaints. What I've got coming up, though, is not just headphones. I have a few surprises in the works. One of them coming very shortly. and another one's going to take a few months, but it's going to make for some really entertaining content. It's a pet project for me that I've wanted to do for a long time, and I finally pulled the trigger on it. Now, next up, we're going to be opening up another Audio 46 headphone. This is a blind What's in the Box episode, my favorite ones to do. They always send me something interesting, and I can't wait to see what it is. Give this episode a thumbs up because Flagship, hello.
Hello.
Or do the other thing if nothing short of an HE1 will do for your headphone review demands. I can't say I blame you either way, but I will see you before you know it.